meet Eddie Reed and hear about his paintings.
Hello, everybody. First of all, welcome to Blackfish Gallery, and I'm very proud to be here. My show really is a narrative to explain the work. It's pretty straightforward. I pursue a question, and the question is, why do we continue to behave and do things, the big we, when we have plenty of precedences to prove to the counter? For example, why do we insist on labor strife? Why do we insist on racial strife? Why do we insist on dividing people up in terms of importance? Black artists over here, white artists over there. In fact, a funny story, when I came to Portland, a major gallery, I won't name it, looked at my work and basically said, we don't show your kind here. That was their words exactly. So, but nevertheless, that's the point. My show is entitled The Mission, and the mission is to change that narrative. As you can see, there's much here to it. Each piece, for example, this one deals with the strife and challenge of the ignored children, the real victims, when families die, when parents die, who looks out after the children. And as we go on down the line, one of the things you'll notice is that there are no specific faces in the work, and that's a politic cow pie that I choose to steer away from. People want to easily get distracted and say, well, you're blaming this group or that group, but I want them to stay on point and stay with the message. You'll notice also the iconography in the work. These are sacred images taken from my own heritage, which is out of Africa. I'm of the Yoruba group. My grandmother, Native American imagery as well. My grandmother raised me, and she was half Choctaw Indian. The big story there as to how that came about, but I think for those who know African American history, it's a common story. And as we move on through, this one is probably one of the highlight pieces. You'll notice that the background imagery is actually Portland last summer, or 2 summers ago, when you had your so-called riot. But what was interesting to me in all of that is what the protests were about and how far back those issues go, thus the dates on the sides. Labor strife. This one deals with that. And gun violence, which has plagued all neighborhoods of color. Not just in the United States. I just returned from Europe, and it's a long-standing issue there as well. And thus the title of this piece is "I Can't Save You Now." And the images in themselves, you'll notice the snake image is a highly sacred image. It stands for resilience and determination in the face of strife. And then we bring you to the last piece, which really exudes a lot of hope. This one is entitled "Respect Yourself." And one of the things to notice that is repeated a lot in my paintings is the use of the Sacred Heart. The idea that through it all, we can have a positive determination to bring about change. And that's the message in the work, is asking the big question, why can't we change? Why do we struggle with issues, homelessness, etc., when at the same time we launched a telescope that costs $347 billion, but yet we can't get people out of tents off the streets? Interesting question. But anyway, thank you. And as being an artist, I get to ask those questions. and I'm quite proud to do it. And I'm quite proud of Blackfish for giving me a forum. Thank you.
Thank you, Eddie.